Coming to you live from the workshop this morning. You can see we're going to need a lot of tools. We're going to need a lot of equipment to get this market turned back to bull market. The SPY, the overall market just going down, down, down. Some of your top stocks all selling off massively. What is going on? Is it time to buy the dip or is it time to run for the hills? Breaking it all down right here in this video, so make sure you stay tuned. So the first stock to look at here is the SPY, S-P-Y, the S&P 500. And look where we're at today, $429 there on the daily chart, pulling down here all the way to $425. And what's interesting is if you can see here, the SPY touched down right to where that previous support was back there in October of 2021. So the low on these candles was around $426. Today we touched down there to the $425 level. Look at that waterfall move. Now what's amazing about this is we talked about this possibility, this idea of the market selling off massively back there at the end of 2021 right here on the channel. So if you guys are not already subscribed, you didn't know about this move coming, well, hit that subscribe button. Let's get going, my friends. All right, so the SPY, where's it at? We're at the support right now. You can see that yellow line. After that support, we've got some more support, I'd say, down here at the $400 level. Now, if we look historically at some of these big crashes that we've had in the past, let's just say, like, this one doesn't really count because this was the whole COVID deal. But let's just say, okay, we crashed 33% for the overall market there on that move. I would say this move that we're in right now is more similar to, let's say, like this type of move here, where we dropped about 8% for the overall market. Now, if we go up here and we look, let's look at where we're at right now. I think we're way past 8%, but we're not that far, actually. We're only about 10% down right now from the all-time highs, which a lot of people are, freaking out that the overall market is crashing, that it's the end of the world here, but we're only about 10% down from the all-time highs, which sounds pretty crazy, but it's really not that bad just yet. So I wouldn't say that we're in a total market collapse just yet. If we're going to drop 30%, we're looking at a move all the way down to like here, to this level. So pretty much like if we drew this would be a 30% drop in the overall market, and that would really kind of constitute a big fear of the market really crashing and the world ending. If we drop from 470 down to 320, there's a lot of fear that's going to come in, and it's going to be a lot of bad things to happen here. So I'm not going to say that we're in a total collapse or a total crash just yet. I would say right now we're at a technical pullback here because of some things, with the overall government, with interest rates, with overall monetary policy, some of the news around the world, as well as some other countries, and just some overall things kind of, creating fear and creating some jitters in the overall market. But I think today really is that kind of buy the dip kind of setup here. As long as we can hold this level, I want to make that very clear. As long as we can hold this level here at the $425 level, I'm a buyer of stocks, a net buyer, or buying call options on stocks moving back up from here, especially with this gap in the overall SPY right now. I'm thinking, we're going to kind of bounce off of here, do a little consolidation, and then we kind of, can get moving back up here. But I'm thinking we'll get a little bit of, price action here at this level. I'm not really sure why it's true like that, but we're going to get some price action at this level. We hold 425, and then we can kind of start to move back up here. I'm not, like I said, I'm just the way the market's set up, the way the government it is, I don't see them letting this thing really crash that much more than here. We're going to start talking about monetary policies, talking about the interest rates changing and all that pretty soon here. So once we start seeing that kind of happening, we talk about, printing more money to save the market. That is when I think, we're going to be at the bottom at that point. So we got the SPY getting killed. What other top stocks am I looking at right now? You can see Tesla here as well, down to the 840 level. I think everything is going to kind of look for a bounce at this point, with multiple stocks at a support level. So Tesla has, a little bit of support there at the $900 level. Today it dropped all the way down here to 850. So Tesla right at that support as well. You've got Apple basically retesting this area of support and consolidation as well. You've got multiple stocks. I'm definitely liking the idea of Apple at this point, especially down here bouncing off this previous resistance. You can see the all-time high on Apple was $184, and then that's about a 12 to 13% drop. So from here, let's say you're buying Apple at this level here. What's your return if we push back to all-time highs? Remember, we had a 13% drop here, so you're going to get about a 16 to 15% move back to the upside from here, going in, towards the end of the year on 2022. It's funny because we're already talking about the end of the year, but maybe we just rally up to the $200 level or higher there on Apple. But right now, really looking at the overall market, the SPY, and those things like that. The QQQs are also getting murdered here. The QQQs don't look as solid as the SPY in terms of a bounce here, but we are kind of at that previous area of resistance here for the Qs as well. So this is going to be, the tech stocks and the overall NASDAQ and things like that. I would kind of keep an eye on this one here, the TQQ, because of the opportunity for some volatility here in the markets, and especially kind of seeing what the Qs are doing right now and, kind of bouncing off that level. Obviously, this is not financial advice. Don't go out and sell your mortgage, sell your house, buy more stocks. Don't do that by any means. But right now, I'm really kind of looking for opportunities to get long, like I said, as long as the SPY can hold that 425 area, I think it's time to be buying and time to be buying aggressively as long as we're holding that level. If we can't hold 425, well, then we're going to go lower, obviously. But right now, let's just kind of map this out here as well. We got the TQQ right at that level, this previous consolidation level there. We bounce off of that. So I'm liking this idea here. You got a drop on TQQ that was about a 40% drop down from the highs. Remember, TQQ is a 3 times ETF. So if we get a nice big push back up here to all-time highs, we're looking at about a 100% move here the next few months if the market can get kind of turned around here. The question is, does the market turn around and go back to all-time highs from here, or do we just get a small pop? Do we kind of bounce off of here? We get a push back up. We're still getting, a 25 to 30% move back up here. So I still think there's opportunity to make some money here. And TQQ is definitely on the top of my list in terms of wanting to buy the dip here. And again, I think it's really, really dependent on one thing and one thing only. And that's the SPY holding the 425 level. If we can hold 425, well, then it's going to be interesting. The SPY down there to 425, it's going to be, it's going to be rocky. It's going to be rolly here. And this could be continuation lower, kind of seeing where we close at today. If we bounce back strong here on the SPY, well, then I think there's an opportunity to be buying. If we're just kind of, teeter-tottering at that level, well, then I'll maybe be a little bit less aggressive in buying. So that's what I'm watching right now in terms of the overall market. Pretty much every single stock is getting crushed right now. Stocks that I would definitely stay away from. I'm going to stay away from Netflix, that's for sure. You can see Netflix just getting murdered right down there to the $326 level. And what's amazing is from the top up here at $700, Netflix dropped down about 50%. So, if you're a huge fan of Netflix, maybe it's time to buy the dip. But I'm going to stay away from Netflix for now until I kind of figure out what is going on with that stock. I think there's other opportunities to be made in the market. And Netflix, I'm not sure I want to be buying the dip just right now. Also, Peloton here. Also, Peloton getting crushed as well. Peloton down there to $27.45. Had a recent high at $169. It's down around 85% so far. And that is not good news for Peloton investors. So a lot of stocks just getting murdered right now. The million-dollar question is always, do you buy the dip? And I think if you're going to be buying the dip here, I'm looking for stocks that have been strong for the majority of 2021 that are just pulling back to a support area. Looking at stocks like Netflix and Peloton, I'm thinking those are going to have a lot more trouble here in 2022. So I'm looking for more opportunities for stocks that are, already positive or been positive for 2021 and have strength and are just pulling back to a previous area of support. And I think right now, the real important thing to watch is the SPY at 425. If the SPY can hold 425, well, then it's time to party, my friends. And if you guys haven't already, Do me one big favor. Let me know down in the comments below. What do you think? Where are we heading with the overall market? Is it time to be buying the dip? And also hit that subscribe button. I will talk to you guys later on.